Spellbound. I'm Spellbound.
Spellbound Podcast. Spellbound Podcast.
It's so compelling.
What's going on, my mystical, magical people? I'm Jay Spellbound, and you tuned in to Spellbound, the podcast. As always, my goal is to keep you hypnotized while I got you. Today, we have someone that I've known for a very long time. This guy, his drive has always been different. Since middle school, I knew he was going to be a star, and he achieved that on multiple levels, from the streets to entertainment. He did it big. I'm glad to have him today. So please help me welcome Mr. 757 himself, Tony Gonzalez. How you doing, cuz? How you doing, cuz?
I'm the most hated.
We all are, man. We from Bayside, man.
Hey.
We got my producer, Prince Cree, here from the world famous Swag in the Morning Show. What's going on?
Everything is good, man. I thought he was born because of the Washington team. If that's what I thought he was. But anyway, I'm doing good, man. I'm excited, man, for what you're about to get down with this Beach Chronicles.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Redskins playing a little bit, so he might be booing a little bit. We'll know. First and foremost, man, 2020, man, it's been a crazy year from the beginning to the end, man. And how you been holding up through all this, man, with the pandemic and everything? How you doing, brother?
I've been good. Life is good. Trucking company is good.
Yes, sir.
We're actually selling more vehicles than anything.
Through all this?
Yeah, so it didn't slow me up.
Okay. So it didn't affect you at all? Family been good? Everybody been good?
Nah, I ain't had to get the all the money people been scamming and all that. I ain't had to do nothing.
Yeah, stay away from that. People get locked up for that.
I'm scared of prison.
Yes, you and me both. Shit, man. The last time I actually saw you, man, before this was, I think, in DC at the Tyson fight.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's been a minute, man. That's about 15 years or so ago. 2005.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that was the last time I saw you, man. So it's been a minute, man. I'm glad, I got you to come in and we'll sit down and chop it up for a little bit. With the Beach Chronicles, this is something, I wanted to do for us, for Bayside. I know it's called the Beach Chronicles, but I wanted to represent us, man, Bayside. Talk about where we from, the things we seen growing up, and, how we actually here to still talk about those things, man, and, and the people that we became who we are today. I know you love Bayside. I know you still represent it to the fullest to this day.
To death.
What did Bayside mean to you, man? What's that area mean to you?
Man, that's what made me. That what made me become the man that I am today. Just from growing up with the struggle and just learning values and just the trust and just the whole thing of just a family and community, at its finest.
Yeah, definitely, man. Especially, man, you guys coming from Bayside Arms, man, that area, you guys were like a family out there. Y'all were like a unit. But we kind of had the same thing on our end, Newtown Road area, Lake Arrows area. But you guys were really like not only friends, but most of you guys were family out there. And I think that was the difference between your area and my area, because we come from different sides of the Bayside area. You come from the Wichita Road area. I come from the Newtown Road area. How was that? Being the family-oriented side of having real live family out there.
Yeah, because it's like it's crazy because when growing up out there, it was like everybody was like cousins. Even if you just say, yo, that's my cousin, like it had some kind of truth to it.
Yeah.
It was just crazy because like somebody who could, that you grew up with, and then you find out that you're really family, and just trying to pick apart, whether you really family or not. It was like a thing of us just being so close, like you never know who your father was for real.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like
that's for real, man. Like really.
Yeah. And even from my even from my wife is from Barcelona, even though she'll tell you that she's not. She says she's from Chesapeake, but she's from Barcelona, and like, you know, we're just all close out there, man. Just real close.
Nah, I mean, it's crazy that you say that because, you know, I moved to Virginia Beach in like the 4th or 5th grade from Norfolk. And I moved out Carriage House. I didn't really know you guys, you know, we all kind of met briefly playing sports, Wolfpack and all that. And then I really met, you know, a lot of y'all in middle school. And when I came to middle school, I don't know the speller side of my family. So when I came to Bayside in the middle school, you know, that's when I met you guys, Lavelle, Ron, you guys, and you like, yo, you know you're our cousin, right? And I was like, I didn't know because I don't know the speller side of my family. So that for me kind of put a stamp on my name that I was good in y'all hood now. Is that true?
Yeah, that's very true. You know, because, you know, at the time we was fighting, you know, Lake Erie boys, and when I found out that my mother told me, she said, you know, you're some kin to the Spellers. Because when I found out your last name was Speller,
Yeah.
you know, we used to always run back to family history and ask, hey, Mom, you know any Spellers? She's like, you know a lot of Spellers, what? Like, that's your family. And I'm like, wow. Because, you know, at the same time when we fight in
Yeah.
other neighborhoods, you want to know who the other side is.
Yeah.
So when I found out that you were my cousin, I was like, wow. I said, man, he would have to fight. He would have to fight, but if I could help it, you know.
Nah, it did, especially, you know, like you, Lavelle, you know, you guys, you know, putting that out there for me. I was good to come out y'all neighborhood. I would ride my bike to come get a haircut from Lavelle in Bayside Arms and ride back home with no problems back then. And this is before it really got too bad. Because middle school, you know, we really didn't fight. We all kind of hung out together because most of you guys played sports together. I wasn't a big sports guy, you know. That wasn't my thing. That was you guys' thing. But I did play a little bit of Wolfpack and going to practice and stuff like that. But
And I only remember that.
yeah. So what happened was, I'll tell you what, when we started hitting and put that equipment on, my first reaction, I always put my hands in front of my helmet. So I was hitting my own hands, going hands up. So I said, man, you know what? This ain't for me. This ain't for me. You either got a wicked jump shot or you sell a crack, right? I said, I'm going the other way, man. It was easier. Yeah, but yeah, you guys definitely put that that stamp on my name for me out there. Are you actually from Bayside Arms or you grew up in the surrounding area?
I'm actually from across the street, Southgate, but my aunt, my great aunt, my grandma's sister stayed out Bayside Arms.
Right.
And so, you know, I was going out there almost every day because her grandson, which is my cousin, you know, Twan Gottlieb, you know, we were the same age, so, you know, I was going out there a whole lot, so I was seeing a lot of things that were going on out there, so, but like I said, Southgate is right across the street from here, so you gotta say I'm
No, I've been to the house out there. What was it that drew you to want to hang out there? Was it that, you know, that everybody was out there, you know, people we went to school with?
Actually, you know, what made me actually cater towards, you know, Bayside Arms, because when I was coming up, it was a thing of just, you know, out Southgate, we used to play a lot of like football, you know, sideline pop.
Yeah.
You know,
Go back and run.
It was like a sports thing. It really wasn't no like drug infested like thing. But you had a lot of smokers out there, but they was all going to Bayside Arms.
Yeah.
So when I was going out Bayside Arms and I'm seeing everything that's going on out there, I'm like, wow, but I ain't really paying attention, but I'm paying attention.
Right.
You know, so one thing led to another one when I got older.
Yeah. No, you brought it up. So getting into the game, how old were you when you first got into the game?
When I first got into the game, I was about 15, 16. My uncle, who was Panamanian, Uncle Rene, he was going out there, and he had a little issues with the guys them out there. And I started getting work from him, and I started carrying out there because he couldn't go out there no more because it was a little like beef thing, you know. And so when I started going out there and learning the game, that's what, like, I took off.
Let me rewind a little bit before that. Going back out base out initially and hanging out there with those guys out there. I know how those guys came up. We kind of came up the same way. Did you feel like, being that you didn't actually grow up, did you have to prove yourself to them guys out there as far as?
I did, but I didn't, because I had older cousins who actually lived out there.
Yeah.
So, I had a cousin by the name of Dashiell Holly. Dashiell Holly and my cousin Ombre. They was like known figures out there.
Yeah.
So, it was a thing of, I got to pass this off the gate because all my family members was out there.
Yeah.
And they was one of the ones, from just them two alone, it was a thing of, he's our cousin, he's staying.
Yeah.
But I still had to go through the initiations of the older boys. We getting beat up and all that because at the time it was like only like 7 of us. Shouts out Manuel, Herbert, Twan, Charles, Josh. But it was about 7 of us who like we all like came up together. So.
Yeah.
Once I got the stamp of saying, with them knowing that who my older cousin was and they was official, it automatically made me official.
Yeah, I had Frankie up here not too long before you. We actually talked about Dashiell, man. He was on his way to the Olympics and all that, and how one bad night changed his whole future.
And that's my cousin.
Yeah.
That's like my blood.
Yeah.
So just
Unfortunately,
into the fact of him, that actually puts me in the, in the crew.
Yeah. And one thing I say, man, you guys come from base Arms, man, and I don't know if it's because all the coaches lived out there, but you guys were all athletic in some kind of way. Even, basketball, I know basketball, I know you played basketball and football and track, but, I know basketball was your thing. And I guess you was all right in it.
No, man, I was a beast.
He said he was fast.
I was a beast.
Yeah. No, I'm just messing with you. But back then, did you see yourself as, basketball was going to be your way out, or did you always knew that it was going to be the streets that was going to take you out?
Actually, no. I wanted to be the basketball star, like every other young kid. But that actually hurt me when, just from being from the streets, and I ended up choosing the streets over the basketball when it came to family and getting kicked out of school. Because at the time when I first got kicked out of school, we can get into when I first got kicked out of school, I was actually supposed to start. I was supposed to start the next following year for Bayside High, and I ended up getting kicked out of school.
Yeah, and I'm glad you brought it up because that was actually what I was going to talk about. I remember the year of 1992. It's the second week of school. We get into a big riot. Early in the
It
morning.
was the second week? I thought it was the first day.
No. So what happened was that whole week, we came back after Memorial Day, whatever the holiday is, Labor Day. We come back to school that Tuesday. Tension was brewing that whole week, from Tuesday to Friday. We almost got into it with each other, your side, my side. And I think Friday was a pep rally, and it almost went down all the way until we were getting on the buses. So I know me and all my guys, we talked about, we come back to school Monday morning, as soon as we get in breakfast, it's on.
Yeah, and what's so crazy? Because I'm not even in front.
Yeah.
The craziest thing in the world is we always looked at Lake Elwood guys as being so super soft. Not wanting to come out based on we always coming out Lake Elwood.
Yeah.
It was always the thing of like we just felt like we was just so obese. Pimp was it. I ain't gonna lie, Pimp was it.
Yeah, he was, I couldn't believe, man, when, we found out what happened to him, man. It's like, those one of the ones, like, he wasn't supposed to go out like that.
Yeah. No, he actually had the Sentra. I remember the white Nissan Sentra. That what made me get my first car. Actually, the first car was a Thunderbird, but my first official car was a Nissan Sentra because of Pimp.
Pimp used to post up in this one spot at school every day with his leg up on the wall. Pimp stood with that leg up on the wall.
Mm-hmm.
He said when Pimp graduated and left, he said, that was my spot because I wanted to be as cool as Pimp.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
I want to be as cool as Pimp, man. I think, the honest truth is so crazy because I think the coolest dudes to come from Lake Elwood and Bayside On, you had two. I give the Lake Elwoods, I give it to Pimp, and I give the Bayside On was Toledo. Them were like just two cool dudes.
Both of them.
Both of them come.
It's crazy. I thought you was gonna say me.
Nah. You know, it's so crazy because when I found out that when actually Josh called me and said, yeah, you know, your cousin doing a podcast. I was like, who? He was like, Jason. I said, I just talked to him. He was like, yeah, he doing a podcast. I said, a podcast? I said, he don't even talk. How the hell he do a podcast as quiet as he is?
Well, we're gonna take a quick break, man. Pay a couple bills, man. We're gonna jump right back into it, cuz.
This portion of Spellbound is powered by No Days Off Transport LLC. Want your car delivered from the East Coast? They'll do it. You want your car delivered from Norfolk to Virginia Beach to Charlotte to Raleigh to Atlanta? They'll do it. No days off. They're working every day, 7 days a week. For more information, call 919-592-0804. Now back to Spellbound. Beach Chronicles. We winning.
Yeah, man. So as I sat back and I thought about what we was actually gonna talk about today, and as I was thinking about a lot of old stories, and I sat back and I was like, realized that me and you have more history and different things we've done together than I even remember. When we talked about fighting, and I had to bring this up because my wife is here today. Me and her were together one day, hanging out at my house, and you stayed in New Point at the time. We had moved from Lake Edwards. She stayed in Campus East, so she snuck to my house. We just kind of hung out, whatever. We were gonna leave, walk back to her house in Campus East. She made me leave my gun home because she was scared. She was scared of my gun because it accidentally went off when we were hanging out together one time, me playing with it. So ever since then, she was terrified of it. But now, I actually got to go to the range and shoot guns now.
Oh, wow.
But, so we're walking back to her house on Campus East, and I see you, Ali, Jacob, and Greg. I didn't really know Greg at the time, because I don't know where he came from. I don't think he was like an original from your neighborhood.
And Greg Banton, yeah. You know, he wasn't. Actually, my brother before. I made my brother fight him one-on-one.
Yeah. I seen y'all rode past me. We walking on Baker Road. I seen the car move around the bus and U-turn. And then y'all jump out the car. I said, fuck.
Should have had my gun.
I should have had my gun. But I'm gonna stay and fight.
Thank God for that. Not having the gun.
Yes. Because we might not be having this conversation right there, but they jumped out. You try to get in the middle of it, like, nah, that's my cousin, y'all chill. But we ended up fighting. I didn't even focus on Jacob and Ali, which I should have focused more on Jacob because I heard those stories about him. But I just fought the dude Greg the whole time because previous before that, Greg had moved, I don't remember, Atlanta or somewhere, and he had moved from y'all area. And we see him come out of the house with his mom. They got in the car and we chased him was on a high speed chase because we was gonna get him.
Yeah, he wasn't an original.
Yeah, I know. But so when y'all jumped out, y'all, I fought him the whole time, and you were trying to break it up. My wife was trying to break it up. One of my homegirls was right in front of her house. She was trying to break it up. That day for me was crazy, man. But I just remember you being in the middle of trying to stop all that. You remember that day?
Yeah. No, I definitely remember it. I vaguely remember it, but but like I always said though, it was a couple of guys from out Lake Edwards who I had a certain bond with that just was just off limits when it came to jumping.
Yeah.
Now if you're gonna fight a one-on-one, I can't stop that. Because that's what we had to do. But as far as jumping, as far as you, Antoine Moore, what do you call him, boy
Yeah.
now? Them was, like, just from y'all to the thing of, listen, man, that's people's, man. So if y'all catch them out there, y'all don't do them dirty. You know what I mean? But, but I was just glad, though, that you didn't back down and you were still willing to, to stand up and fight, but I definitely didn't want to see them do you dirty.
Nah, it won't
Especially on my watch.
It won't do bad. I think I did pretty good. Now, and I say that to say because you were one of those guys to bridge that gap between Lake Edwards and Bayside Arms. Like you say, boy was one of those. Jabari was one of those.
Yeah.
Frankie was one of those.
Cause you know it's funny, cause you know, like I'm the first one to originally really, from our era, to put a stop to it, with Jabari and Lil Real and Tayana.
Yeah.
You know, funny story. I was at the Bayside High football game, and I was standing down by the bleachers, and I remember Jabari and Ray and a bunch of other good guys was like standing like up top of the bleachers. And but like I say, Antoine Moore, me and him was so cool because me and him had started with working for Woodstock program for the janitorial thing, and my father was a janitor at Bayside.
Yeah.
So he hired Antoine. So it just so happened I worked there too. So me and Antoine got so cool. I'm talking about it was a thing of me and him used to hide from my dad, and like he'd sleep and then I sleep, you know what I mean? But we came so cool.
Yeah.
And actually he had work.
Yeah.
And he used to give me work. I used to get my work from him when I was younger.
I did too.
And and you know I remember that blue cutlass.
Yep.
He used to ride through that was my man.
Yep.
So he actually used to give me work. And but then when I came into my own, it was a thing of it was a little beef going on at a high school football game, and I'm standing down by the bleachers, and this little guy come up, and he like telling me, "Yo, I'll fuck you up smooth. I'll fuck you up smooth." And I said, "This little nigga's gonna fuck me up smooth? Like, nigga, I will beat you up." It was Jabari.
Oh.
And I'm saying like, this little nigga like, I'm like, what? So you know, we had a little issue or whatever.
Yeah.
So but I found out that that he was losing work.
Yeah.
And so I had said to myself, I said, man, listen, I said, it's crazy because I got all this work now, and I said, instead of fighting, we need to make some money. So that would make me even go to Bari and Lil Real and them like, yo, what y'all trying to do? I got it, man. Like, ain't no need to even be doing this.
Yeah.
And just because I knew, just from his heart, from him even
Pulling
up on me, like telling me that,
Yeah.
I said, yo, I can rock with Shorty.
Yeah. It's crazy because I left the streets in '95. I went to prison. I was 19 years old, and when I left, I don't even remember Barry doing anything, but during those years while I was gone, like when I came home, y'all was the biggest in the city, man. Y'all was the biggest in the city when I came home.
Yeah.
And I heard things. I kept my ears to the street while I was locked up, and I couldn't believe it. I couldn't believe how my people's man was those dudes now.
No,
that we heard about coming up.
you know, it's crazy. I had met this guy, and he used to be at the 7-Eleven right in front of Lake Hills. It was he was Galanese. Shouts out to Starch. He's home now. But anyway, Starch. I ran. I don't know. Matter of fact, I ran across Starch from a guy by the name of Tyke, which is Frankie brother, which was my right hand man. And he introduced me to Starch because he was like, "Yo, I'm gonna turn on Starch, man, because you got that bag now, so you can go ahead and go to see what they're working with." So at the time, I was spending money with Starch, but Starch used to like bring like bags full of coke. He probably had about like 30 keys in a garbage bag.
Yeah.
He used to be like, "Man, pick what you want." I said, "Pick what I want."
I want to know.
You know what I mean? I probably grabbed about 10 of them real quick. And I grabbed them, and then when I was grabbing them, I used to go get with Bari and Jobo. And it's funny because Jobo was the same guy who, when I got kicked out of school, me and him was fighting each other.
One-on-one.
One-on-one. It was just me and him. And it was just so funny. It was like, I don't think nobody even threw no punches. I think we were just grabbing on each other, whatever. Pause. But when I started going to a spot out right behind the Breeze in Lake Hills.
Yeah.
I think Joe had a spot right there.
Yeah.
And I used to go and I used to be like, "Yo, whatever y'all want," and I used to look out for him and Bar. They used to make me a lot of money on the account. So much money.
That's what I mean, man. Like, so I was gone from '95 to 2001, and when I came home, my wife came and picked me up, so before she was the first person I seen. My oldest two kids were in school at the time, and she took me to the mall to meet them, Boy, Joe Boy, and Barry. And they all put on some weight, and I walked right past them. They looking at me like, look at this dude, man, he walking right past us. I didn't even realize that was them. So they take me shopping, and we started buying iceberg jeans. I'm like, where the Levi's at, man? Y'all spending $200-something on some jeans. I want some Levi's. It was like, man, nobody wear that no more, man. We wearing iceberg. So just to see those guys transition into being those guys, man, and you from your area being that guy, man, that definitely put us on the map to a whole nother level, like the biggest in the city, man, like the biggest in Virginia at the time. When I was locked up, I got locked up in '95. I remember I was at St. Bride's and I seen the Clips video come on, and I was hyped. I was like, these dudes from Virginia Beach. You know, don't nobody know about Virginia Beach. They think we soft. You know what I mean? Like dudes from other cities, they don't know about us. So I was hyped, man. And then when I seen you and you was in the videos, I was like, man, that's my peoples right there. So I got even more hype. What was that like for you, being a part of that?
With me, it was more so, you know, I just wanted a front for selling dope. I'm not even a front. Like my whole thing is, nigga, I just wanted to make money. You know what I mean? So I'm not an industry dude. You know what I mean? I never been. You know, it was a thing of I figured, I can make some money by doing this, and then I can bring my crew along with me, and we could make us some money, and it could be legit. That's all I was concentrating on. You know, so anything else was a plus.
I will say every time I seen you, you definitely had your guys with you. When I was just running into you, you would have Titan with you, you would have Mario with you. You kept your inner circle around during that time. Fast forward, I come home 2001. Mario got his little group, the Street Fellas. You had me in the Clips right now, and I think they were performing at Norfolk State, was it?
For what?
I can't remember. I remember the Street Fellas was opening up for him.
I think I had did a show. I was also a promoter too. I did a show with Baby, Foxy Brown, and the Clips.
Long story short,
At ODU.
you seen me. I had my oldest son with me, and you brought him to the Clips, and that was big for me. I appreciate you for doing that for my son. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Fast forward today, what's your relationship with those guys today?
It's all good.
All good.
That's all I can say.
Some kind of post. You held on to the grudge for a long time. And, I'm a grown man now, and I wish I didn't wait till 45 years old to realize that.
Actually, no. That was who was that nigga? Did I put a post up on saying
Somebody called you.
Somebody called? Oh no, that was a cousin of mine by the name of Steve. That was just something totally off the wall, because I'm not gonna lie, like prison. I can cuss up here, right?
Yeah.
You good to go.
Whatever you want to do, cuz.
Hey, let's slow for one
Hey,
second. Let's do this. Let's go ahead and
listen.
do this for it. Let's get it interesting. I'm stuck on this.
Because I never really been a big cusser, but
You can say what you want.
but prison fucked me up.
Yes.
No, I'm here. Prison fucked me up.
Hold that thought 1 second, cuz we're gonna jump right back on that. Let's jump in some bills real quick.
This portion of Spellbound is powered by Jazzy Jewels Boutique. That's Jazzy Jewels. Go to jazzyjewels.com right now. Let me spell it for y'all. I'm going to get it right. Jazzii Jewels, JEWELZ.com. I got it. She got the quality. She's from here to there. She'll pop up wherever you want her to be. It's luxury. It's glamorous. And it's professional. It's my sister.
250.
JazzyJewels.com. Go right now. And y'all, back to the Beach Chronicles.
Penitentiary.
Yeah.
Fucked you up.
Yeah, no, prison really, like, I'm not gonna lie, prison fucked me up, man. Prison fucked me up with a lot of my relationships, like, just on my whole outlook of everything, from my marriage, from just old friends, for old relationships, Like, I mean, and when I say fuck me up, I'm not gonna say it's for the bad. Some of it's for the bad, some of it's for the good. But it's like prison mold you to just think differently, and it puts you in like think mode that like everybody's against you. You gotta realize who is, who's not. It's just a certain way of like life when you are in prison. So when you come home, it's like you gotta try to shake some of it, but at the same time you don't wanna lose some of the stuff that you learned. And it really fucked me up, and it fucked me up with a lot of my relationships. You know, if I could go back on a lot of things, a lot of my old relationships, it wouldn't have been to the point of the end.
Yeah.
If that makes sense in what I'm saying.
No, 100%.
You know, but just like I say though, even at the end of the day, even when it comes to certain friends, don't any of that matter. The only thing that really matters to me is as far as my relationship with my wife.
Yeah.
You know, that really, prison really like put a damper on a lot of stuff from helping us grow. But you know, at the same time, I got a strong woman, so she realized that a lot. But you know, but like I say, everybody's human. You know what I mean? And so you know, but it really fucked me up though.
How long did you do?
I did like 8.5 years.
I did almost 7. And you know, I'm glad that you brought that up. You know, talking about your wife. For me, I went to penitentiary at 19 years old. I come home, I'm 25 years old. At 25 years old, you just really start to figure out who you are as a person. And I say that to say this, I don't care about what nobody thinks about me in the street, my name in the street. My biggest regret is that my name is not good with my wife, bro.
Yeah.
Like, I took that from her, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you feel that the lifestyle that we live, the way that we came up, do you feel that your wife deserves better than you?
Oh yeah, no. She definitely deserved better than me. She deserved, like, I'm not even gonna hold you. I don't deserve her.
100%.
I mean, I don't. Me, the guy who I was coming up, and even with coming home, and even though I became a better person, far as mentally, I still don't deserve her. So for her to still be around to this day is like, dang, like really, and it's like, for her to still even be here, it's like you. I mean, I question that. I'd be sitting there like saying to myself, like, damn, you still here? like I'm surprised you're still here. You know what I mean? To put up with my bullshit because I'm a fucked up nigga. You know what I mean? I'm just being real. But she know I could never love another woman like.
Hold on. We, me and you, we ain't gonna never find women that's gonna love us the way that they love us.
Definitely not.
I'm never gonna be on the couch. I'm loving this.
Definitely not. Definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely not. So for her to still be around and you know, like, it's just crazy because I have to say this.
Yeah.
Prison fucked me up. Prison made her stronger.
Yeah.
That's so good, man.
Because prison made her know that she don't need me.
Yeah.
My wife told me when I first came home, she said, yo, you know I don't need you. I want you. It still rings in my head right now. She said,
My wife's
I don't need you, nigga. I can do this by myself.
My wife told me that before.
But
it wasn't from prison. It was, you know, just spending some time apart from each other. You realize that you don't need nobody. And the longer you're away from each other, they get stronger and stronger. But you know, I'm glad it was prison and not, you know, other things that interfere with it to make y'all be apart that way.
Yeah.
Because you gotta understand this. She knows, my wife knows my heart, and she knows I'm a good guy.
Same.
But she knows that I have some issues with me, and that put the hamper on our relationship. But at the same time, my wife also knows that just from being our age, and not saying that she's not willing to do this, but it comes, when it comes to relationships, it's hard to trust people. You know what I mean? So in her mind, she's saying, and I'm telling you what she's saying. She probably not even saying it, but I'm telling you what she's saying. She's saying this right here. For her to go into a whole new relationship at being her age, 40, you know what I mean? That's why she hurts so bad, because it's like, yo, nigga, like, I wasted my whole fucking life on you. You better get it right. Like, I don't got no time to be going into a whole new relationship. Nigga, you need to get yourself right. I'm being real, you know what I mean? So you know, we actually had our issues and stuff, and I'm talking about really, like, she really put it on me like, yo, nigga, like, if you don't get it together, I'm gone. Like, I already waited all this time, so for you to come home and not have it together, you're a fucked up nigga. Like, you need to get it right. So, you know, but like I'm saying though, I'm just glad she's still here and seeing that I'm growing as a person, and, you know, she already know what the love is, man.
Yeah. We evolve differently, man. You know, as men, not making an excuse, but they are way ahead of their time. Women are, and we just gotta catch up, man, and get on the same page with them. And it takes us a little bit longer. And like you said, I'm glad my wife's still here too, bro. She's my heart. I love her to death. Sometimes I wonder why she's still here too, but I'm glad she is.
Because you know why? Do you know what my wife know? Well, I'm letting her know right now. Nigga, I would kill somebody. I'm scared of prison, but I'm not scared of prison to the simple fact, you mess with somebody, I will kill them. I'm going to kill them. we just gonna clear the air with that right there. They're dead.
I think my wife thinks the same thing. I don't know. I hope she do. She always says, she tell me, she said, you could never handle the stuff that you done to me if I did it.
Oh, definitely not. Bro, listen, my mind played tricks on me. My mind played so much tricks on me. And I'm gonna tell you, I've never been the one to go through my wife's stuff, phone, any of that. Because, see, but you gotta understand this though. Because I was doing my dirt.
Yep.
So I'm doing my dirt, so I'm like, man, she ain't doing nothing. And I knew she wasn't gonna do nothing. So now, now it's to the point though that I'm like sitting here like, yo, okay, she's accepting all this stuff that I'm doing. Is she doing something? I'm talking about she can be able to text and I'd be like, who you texting? What's going on?
I sneak it, I walk by like this.
I'm like, I don't even shoot at you. I'm like, because no, I can't nobody else get that.
Hey, it's nothing like family, man. It's nothing like black love, man. I'm glad y'all still together, man.
Loyalty, man. Man, it's loyalty, man. Like, she really taught me, and it's so crazy because she's big on loyalty. You know, that's why. You know, I wouldn't have went to prison if I listened to my wife a lot of the times. You know what I mean? Because she's always on point. I don't be wanting to give her that, but she always on point. Always. She be seeing it before it even happens. Like,
my wife keeps smiling because you talk about her too, man.
Yeah, I mean, I already know what it is. You know what I mean? But, you know, but her whole biggest thing, you know, for us though, you know, and it's something I need to work on. My whole thing is, the thing with my wife is she wants me to own up to a lot of my bullshit, and I won't own up to it. And that'd be it though. That'd be her whole thing was though, why don't you just own up to it? I'd be like, nah. The whole time I'm like, who you working with? You know, so, but
let me call my lawyer.
But that's just the biggest thing, man, is owning up to your stuff, man. You know what I mean? So,
man, it was Valentine's Day, 1994, man. My wife bought me some suede red Pumas. She got them for me, and she thought we was gonna hang out that day. I came, I got my Pumas. I'm 2 carloads deep with all my homeboys.
Oh, you ready to leave?
I got my Pumas. I left. I came to your house next. This how much you trusted me because I got all my niggas. We 2 carloads deep. I came and got some smoke from you.
For real?
Yeah.
We ride through North Ridge just to swing through. They out there deep. They get in front of both the vehicles. Throw a brick through the window. So we got out. We was gonna fight.
That was when Tori was with you?
No, that wasn't the thing with Tori.
Oh, okay.
That was different. Cause I wasn't even home when that happened to Tori.
Oh, wow.
But
So you came to see me,
I came to see you guys for smoke.
and guys were ready to jump on.
No, we about to fight. But they threw a brick through the window, so we all piled back in both vehicles. We left. Went back out Lake Erie.
But did you get the smoke?
I got the smoke first. I got the smoke first.
Got the Pumas too.
I got smoke in the Pumas. We go back out Lake Erie was a regroup. We come back out North Ridge that same time, and we shoot the place up. Man, I shouldn't say that because that case got non-processed. I don't know the statute of limitations. But I got arrested that night.
But ain't none of them gonna press charges. So.
I got arrested that night. Me and my brother, they came and got me and my brother from the house at the same time, arrested us. They scooped everybody up. And I say that to say that I should have got my gift and stayed
there.
with her that day. And she always has been like that. Even when I first came home, she seen me started to want to hang back with Jabari and Jobo and Twan and them. And she was not having it. And if it wasn't for her, bro, I would have ended up back in the penitentiary. I probably would have got snatched up when Bo and them got snatched up.
Definitely.
But because of her, I didn't. And I'm able to be here now and be able to have this conversation.
Red Pumas.
My red Pumas.
Wow.
Yeah.
Pause for a second.
Yeah.
I'm loving this, man. Let's do this.